Ada didn't plan to stop at the night market. She was on her way home from visiting her aunt when she saw the glowing lanterns hanging between two old buildings. Music played softly, and there was the smell of roasting meat and something sweet like burnt sugar. Curiosity pulled her in. The market didn't look like it belonged in her city. The ground was dusty. The stalls looked handmade, with cloth roofs and flickering candlelight. People spoke in whispers and wore old clothes, like costumes from the past. Ada walked slowly, turning her head to see everything. A woman sold carved bones. A man with no shoes whispered to a pot of black feathers. But none of them paid attention to her. Then she saw a small store covered in old jewelry. Rings, necklaces, and bracelets shimmered under a door lamp. An old woman with grey eyes sat behind the table, staring right at Ada. Looking for protection, the woman asked in a dry voice. Ada shook her head but looked at the items anyway. Her eyes stopped on a strange bracelet. It was black and looked like it was made of stone. A red eye was carved in the middle. The eye looked almost alive. How much? Ada asked without thinking. The woman smiled. Just a promise. Wear it, and it will protect you. But once you wear it, you can't take it off. Ada laughed nervously, thinking it was a joke. She put it on. The market vanished. Ada blinked. The night market was gone. The dusty ground turned to clean cement. The glowing lanterns, the strange music, even the woman with the grey eyes had vanished. She stood alone in the middle of an empty street. Her heart beat fast. Where had everyone gone? She looked down at the bracelet on her wrist. It was still there. The red eye stared up at her. She tugged at it, trying to pull it off, but it wouldn't move. It felt tight, like it had melted into her skin. Ada felt a cold breeze blow past her. The air smelled like ash. She walked home quickly, her head spinning. By the time she reached her gate, her phone showed that only 10 minutes had passed. But the market had felt like an hour. That night, Ada couldn't sleep. The bracelet itched. She kept hearing whispers in the dark corners of her room, but every time she turned on the light, there was nothing there. Then, just as she started to drift off, she heard a voice. It was right next to her ear, low and hollow. You see me now? Ada shot up in bed, heart racing. Her room was empty. But the red eye on the bracelet was glowing faintly in the dark. The next morning, Ada was quiet. Her mother asked if she was okay. She just nodded. She didn't know how to explain what happened. How do you tell someone a night market appeared out of nowhere and vanished, and now your bracelet talks? She avoided looking at the bracelet, but it felt warm against her wrist. As she walked to school, she heard the voice again. Faint, but clear. You accepted me. I am bound to you. Ada stopped in her tracks. Who are you? She whispered. I was once feared, the voice said. Now I'm trapped. You opened the gate. Ada's hands shook. She ducked into a side street, looking around to see if anyone else had it. But the road was empty. Just her and the voice in her head. What do you want from me? She asked. Not what I want. What I need, it said. Your word has changed. But some spirits do not forget. I am haunted. Ada didn't understand. She had just bought a bracelet. She didn't ask for this. But she couldn't get rid of it either. That night, she tried to cut it off with scissors. The blade snapped. Then she poured hot water on it. It stayed cold. Later, she looked in the mirror. For a moment, just a second, there was a shadow behind her reflection. Tall. Watching. The next day at school, weird things started happening. Her best friend Tigger reached out to hug her, but stopped. "Your hand is freezing," she said. "Are you sick?" Ada forced a laugh, hiding the bracelet under her sleeve. "Just tired." During class, the lights flickered. The fan above her desk groaned and spun faster, even when the power was off. The teacher asked who touched the switch. Everyone pointed at Ada. She hadn't moved. In the bathroom during break, the faucet turned on by itself. The mirror fogged over. Words formed slowly across the glass. "Guardian awakened." Ada backed away and ran out, heart pounding. She was scared, but part of her was also angry. She hadn't asked for any of this. The spirit had picked her. That night, the voice returned. "They found me," it whispered. "They are close." "Who?" Ada asked. "The ones who locked me here." The next morning, she woke to find deep scratches on her window, like claws had raked it during the night. A strange black feather lay on her pillow. And in the reflection of the mirror, the red eye on the bracelet blinked. Mr. F. Young, the history teacher, was the only one who noticed something was wrong. "You've changed," he told Ada after class. "Your aura is loud." Ada blinked. "My what?" He leaned in, serious. "You've touched something old. Something cursed." "Where did you go 3 nights ago?" She hesitated. "I went to the night market." His eyes widened. "The night market of Yuayu?" She nodded slowly. Mr. F. Young closed the door. "That place only appears for the chosen. Or the doomed. What did you buy?" She showed him the bracelet. He stepped back. "That is a binding stone. You're wearing a prison." Ada felt sick. "A prison?" He nodded. "A spirit was locked inside that stone. You've become its guardian now." "What does that mean?" "It means others will come. Spirits. Hunters. The balance has shifted. You must learn fast. Or you'll die." Ada stared at him, heart racing. "How do I get rid of it?" "You can't," he said. "Unless the spirit inside you dies. Or you do." It started with dead birds. 3 of them, lined up in front of Ada's gate. Their eyes were gone. Their wings were folded neatly, as if someone placed them there on purpose. The voice in the bracelet whispered, "He's close." "Who?" Ada asked. "The first hunter. A servant of the gatekeepers. He wants my spirit back in the stone. Dead." Later that evening, while Ada walked home alone, a man stepped out from behind a tree. He wore a black cloak and carried a curved knife. His eyes were white, like they were made of smoke. "You wear what should be hidden," he said calmly. "I will free you by spilling your blood." Ada turned and ran. The man chased her, silent and fast. She tripped and fell hard, scraping her palms. He raised the knife. Then the bracelet glowed red. A burst of air exploded from it, knocking the man into the wall. He screamed as shadows wrapped around him and dragged him into the ground. Ada sat there, shaking. The voice said, "You are stronger now." She whispered, "What are you turning me into?" Ada returned to Mr. F. Young the next day. She told him everything. The birds. The hunter. The shadows. He nodded slowly. "The stone is feeding on you. Every time it protects you, it grows stronger. So do you. But there is a price." "What kind of price?" "Your soul," he said simply. "It's sharing space with the spirit. Little by little, he'll take more." Ada swallowed hard. I didn't ask for this. No one ever does. But you have a choice. What choice? Control the spirit. Or let it control you. That night, Ada spoke to the spirit. Tell me what you really are. I was a god once. Worshipped in shrines. Feared by kings. Then your kind built cities and forgot me. They called me evil and locked me in stone. What do you want now? To live again. Through you. Ada looked in the mirror. Her eyes were starting to change. A ring of red was growing around her pupils. Ada began having dreams. Strange ones. She saw herself in a forest, wearing white robes, surrounded by chanting people. A giant stone with a red eye floated before her. Lightning struck the trees, and black smoke rose from the ground. Each night the dream got longer. She saw wars. Sacrifices. Spirits rising out of rivers and fire. And always, the red-eyed god stood beside her. One night, she woke up crying. Her room was full of mist. The bracelet was glowing again. What are these dreams? She asked. Your memory, the spirit said. Or mine. We are blending now. Ada touched her face. It felt hot, like a fever. She no longer felt fully herself. When she looked at old pictures, she didn't recognize her own smile. She asked Mr. Effiong about the dreams. You are remembering the spirit's past, he said. It's pain. It's power. If you're not careful, you'll become it. Ada walked away with a heavy heart. She had no idea who she was anymore. That night, Ada stood in front of the mirror and asked the spirit, "What is your name?" There was a pause. Then it whispered, "Obon. Is that who you were?" "No," it said. "It's who I am now. I was once known by many names. But they erased me. Obon is what remains." Ada repeated it aloud. Obon. The bracelet paused. For a moment, her body felt heavy, like someone else had stepped inside her skin. Don't say it too often, Obon warned. My enemies hear that name. Ada looked down. How many enemies do you have? All of them, Obon said. Ada began to notice them. Eyes. Watching from shadows.